I am here with, sir, what's your name?
Chris Marshall.
Chris Marshall, and you're with?
SOS Hughes.
SOS Hughes. Tell us what SOS Hughes is all about.
We're here to promote improvements in the Hughes Stadium and to stop this talk about a new stadium a mile or just a half mile over there. There's no need for this new stadium. It's going to cost way more than they expect. It's going to cost the taxpayers in ways they haven't announced. They've been misleading in the information that they've put forward on what's going to be achieved. When they started, they said it would cost $100 million. That's Jack Graham, the athletic director. Now, by their own announced cost, it's $240 million. Well, that didn't include the Alumni Center, which is in their color photographs. It did not include replacing the gardens that they're going to build it on. And when you build a new stadium and try to compete to have a leading football team, you're going to have a lot of other costs that aren't directly related to construction costs of the stadium. Costs for coaches. I don't see it's appropriate to spend tens of thousands of dollars with a professor to student ratio or a coach to athlete ratio of 4 to 1 when we have history classes with 60 to 1. They don't say anything about whether they'll borrow money. If they get bonds for this stadium, they're either going to have them guaranteed by the state of Colorado, or they won't get the loans, or they'll have a much higher interest rate.
So the main problem that you have with the idea of a new on-campus stadium is it's either going to cost too much or it's going to cost even more than we're talking about.
Both of those are true.
Okay. Okay.
It doesn't include the costs by the city of Fort Collins. You know, traffic is going to be a nightmare. Will the city of Fort Collins have to spend $40 million for a variety of things, including getting utilities such as electric and sewage to a stadium of 45,000 people? Will Prospect have to be widened? What's the traffic going to do on game day? They say there's going to be an increase in sales tax revenue. Well, that wasn't true in the University of Minnesota. People came to the area and they said, well, I'm not going to go there on game day, I'll shop somewhere else. 95% of college athletic programs lose money. By CSU's own financial statement that I caught on the web a while back, we lost like $5 million a year in the athletic program. Some of their estimates of money they're going to receive seem to be a bit overestimated. People that are doing these estimates are populists, and they are hired as consultants, but what they do is design stadiums. So they don't have a vested interest in it. How can they be objective? If they want to have what they say, open and transparent to see whether they should or could build a stadium, why are they hiring people that have a clear financial conflict of interest?
And with the name Renew Hughes, does that mean that you want to put money into Hughes Stadium to make it better?
Yes. Now, not anywhere near the amount of money.
Right. Not the $240 million, but
a few more extra seats. Well, I say a few more, but thousands.
Yeah.
They mentioned that the locker rooms need upgrading. There's a lot of other things they can do. So yeah, we already have it. They talk about traditions, game day traditions. Already there's good tailgating at Hughes, which they cannot do in parking garages scattered around the CSU campus. They mentioned, well, if there's a parking problem, they'll get buses to the stadium. Well, people aren't going to want to get into a bus to go to a game and then go back to a bus at the end. That's not going to be a good game day tradition. They also say they're going to save money because it's on campus, people won't have to drive. Well, here they're talking about driving people in. They'll also say the Mason Street corridor will help. Mason Street, Max Rail has like 60 people every 15 minutes. That's not going to do anything good when you have 48,000 people leaving a stadium. If you have a coach that's doing great, he's going to ask for a raise in the millions. If you have a coach that's doing bad, they're going to have to replace him with another coach, and he's going to want big money in the millions, and that's not included in their cost. What they say is going to be by donations. They won't mention if they have any plans in the old stadium. They won't mention what their plans are with the parking. They'll just say parking has to be considered. If they're going to have an evaluation of this, why don't they discuss that? There are info meetings, the Stadium Advisory Committee meetings are infomercials for the stadium. They're not fair and objective.
Okay.
I'm running out of time here, but all I can say is if you don't want a stadium, contact your city councilmen, your state legislatures, and your governor.
Okay, thanks. All right.
Big old guy?
Huh?
He was a big old guy.
Yeah.
And they're